In a brand new year all across our region, but there is an old problem lingering from last semester. The poor performance of California's black students. Just one of the startling statistics about that performance, 70% of black students are not reading or writing at grade level. Black in School Coalition member and founder of a charter school system focused on black students, Dr. Margaret Fortune, with me now live to discuss new poll results that the coalition hopes will help redirect state resources. Dr. Fortune, good morning.
Thank you so much for having me on.
Definitely. Almost 2,000 state voters were surveyed about their beliefs regarding what's affecting black students right now and what could course correct. One finding that 84% of those asked said they wanted state funding to target California's lowest performing students instead of targeting students based on family income. Why did the coalition think a poll was needed, and what do you hope to do with a finding like that one?
Well, we felt a poll was needed because we really needed to survey voters to see if we were aligned with the idea that school funding should target students based on student performance, and that the lowest performing students should be a part of the school funding formula, which we call in California the local control funding formula. Right now, that funding formula targets English learners, low-income students, and foster youth. We think we should add a group to that, and that's the lowest performing students. Sometimes there's a tendency to focus on income rather than academic performance. We're not saying don't focus on income, but we are saying that academic performance ought to be added to the mix in terms of how we fund schools in California.
Okay. 62% of those polled said they thought schools in their area provide high quality education to their students. But 50% of black voters do not believe schools in their area are providing that for black students. Help me understand that. Black students are shoulder to shoulder with their counterparts in these classrooms. So if it's high quality for this child, how not for this student?
What we do in California for students that the state recognizes as high need students is that we do more. We provide more high dosage tutoring. We may provide more instructional aids to the classrooms where those students are. We provide a focus on reading and mathematics that is designed to get a better outcome. And we've been doing that for a decade for the students that the state of California says officially are high needs. The schools that serve them get more resources. And we've seen results. If you were to look at the scorecard for academic achievement in the state of California, you'll find that economically disadvantaged students, in large measure, do better than Black students, who are the lowest performing subgroup. So we want to see all of those extra supports for African American students, not because of their race, but because of their academic performance. The next lowest performing group are Native American students. So we'd like to see resources focused based on academic performance.
Okay. Now, hearing that chronic school absenteeism in California has more than doubled from 10% to 22% between 2019 and this year, 93% of black voters surveyed by your coalition said they think that that is an urgent problem for school districts to address. One, is it your experience that no one's really tracking missed days? And two, why is absenteeism a school problem and not a parent problem?
Well, educators are paying attention to chronic absenteeism, and that's why we think it's interesting that the concern about it is showing up in these poll numbers very prominently with Black voters. Really, schools have never recovered from the pandemic. And we told families, if you have a sniffle, don't come to school. And they did what we asked them to do. But now there has become a pattern of chronic absenteeism. And what chronic absenteeism means is that a student is gone 10% of the school year. That problem particularly impacts African American students who had a chronic absenteeism rate of over 40% in the 2021-2022 school year, the latest year for which data is available. That means that the students aren't in front of you in order for you to teach them. So it is a problem that endures, that all of us in education have to be paying very close attention to try and figure out.
Alrighty. Now, we visited just shy of a year ago about AB 2774, and at that time, the coalition had a lot of hope for it to provide $400 million per year in additional funding to schools to support the lowest performing subgroups of young learners, that being black students right now. Those dollars would have gone to kids not already generating additional state or federal funds. It got pulled, and the governor said there would be consideration for that plan in his 2023 budget. So, where are we now?
So the governor came up with a plan called the Equity Multiplier that allocated funding based on income to schools rather than following students. The result was $300 million in ongoing funding for a set of schools. 11% of the resources would go to African American students. That's what we estimate. While we applaud the governor for taking a step in the right direction, the plan that we had proposed would do $400 million for the lowest performing students, which is how we typically fund schools. We say the money follows the child to the school that serves them, and we give an extra funding increment for students that are considered to be high needs. Right now, that's English learners, low-income students, and foster youth. So there are 80,000 Black students sitting outside of that funding formula. We intend to go directly to school districts to provide our best advice on how to target those resources to the kids that need them the most. In our view, it's the lowest performing students. And while this is a step in the right direction, we are seeing that Black voters think that funding schools on the basis of student performance is the way to go.
All righty, we're going to have to put a pin in it right there, even though there's a lot to talk about with this. And we know there's a lot of work the coalition is still doing. So, of course, we will have you back. We know your charter school system starts school on Wednesday. So good luck to you and all the kiddos as they begin.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.